Victor, our favourite fjord, is here for some float training and a basic ground manners reset. Now, Victor headbutted me the other day when I was taking his bridle off and gave me a mild concussion. So I am wearing a helmet to protect myself. He also headbutted his human, Mel, this morning, so he's in a lot of trouble. Luckily, his behaviour under saddle is perfect. So what he's been doing when he's been getting put on the float is just basically, he has this technique where he tilts his nose a certain way, tilts his neck a certain way, and just barges and then tows his human away. So I've added a stallion chain around his nose, which is coming into play now, and I've got a whip. So the whip is I'm just using the whip to gently touch him to move him around. He's actually quite positively responsive to the whip, which is excellent. So he understands the concept of moving away from the whip, moving off pressure. So I'm just utilising that whip when he tries to turn to the side and to get him to come around straight so he can go straight on the float rather than trying to step on from the side, getting his legs tangled, tripping over, etc. So the whip's like an extension of my arm, essentially, and a little bit of pressure. It's not there to beat him or to dominate him as such. The stallion chain's there to dominate him. I'm just joking. But he cannot be headbutting me or pulling away from me, which is what he's trying to do now. He has to be responsive to my aids, otherwise he's actually technically dangerous. I don't need to be knocked in the head multiple times to put up with that just because he's a nice riding horse, and he's a very nice riding horse. So I just use that whip to guide him, and now he's thinking about it. He's also very food orientated, and he will go onto the float with food, but we're not resorting to that because he's not scared of the float. He's basically telling me to bugger off. So I just use the whip gently to tap him to get him to go forward. And as you can see, I just keep touching him. No need to get all stressed out. Just keep asking. Find a different spot and voila, we're on the float. Now that he's on the float, I can use the whip like it's an extension of my arm just to move him so that he's put in position. But clearly getting shut in the float is not the issue at all. It is simply him being headstrong and thinking that he can rule the world and tow his humans around. So shutting him in was not an issue. It was a complete non-event. Unlike with some horses where they'll get on the float, they'll be all relaxed, you've got to shut the divider and suddenly they have a raging meltdown. So shutting him in, not an issue. Voila.
Okay. Oh, he's a little turd, isn't he? He's really food obsessed.
Now that Victor has gone on the float the first time, I'm doing round 2, and as you can see, it is much smoother. So it literally took us 2 tries to get him on the float versus the debacle that's been the last couple of loadings because he's been such a little jerk without the stallion chain. So now with the stallion chain, and he knows that he can't just tow me all over the place or tow whoever's hounding all over the place, he's easy to move around. He understands that he has to wait. So he is well trained. He's just choosing not to listen to that training without a little bit of reinforcement. And now he's walking off the float nicely. So you always wanted to keep his nose looking forward. Like he can't be swinging that head around because that's how he boops you.